And on this Tuesday, February 4th, 2025 edition of Newsmakers, President Donald Trump's Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff says that a 3 to 5 year timeline for reconstruction of Gaza, as set out in a temporary truce agreement, is not viable. The U.S. administration reiterated its call today for Arab nations to relocate displaced Palestinians in the war-torn territory. Witkoff said it is unfair to explain to Palestinians that they might be back in 5 years. He added that such a timeline is preposterous. The administration renewed its call on Arab nations to relocate displaced Palestinians, as Trump is set to meet today with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Egypt and Jordan, as well as other Arab nations, have rejected calls by Trump to relocate the territory's 2.3 million Palestinians during post-war rebuilding. The Trump administration is opening new investigations into allegations of antisemitism at 5 U.S. universities, including Columbia and the University of California, Berkeley. It's part of President Trump's promise to take a tougher stance against campus antisemitism and deal out harsher penalties than the Biden administration, which settled a flurry of cases with the universities in its final weeks. It comes the same day the Justice Department announced a new task force to root out anti-Semitism on college campuses. In an order signed last week, Trump called for aggressive action to fight anti-Jewish bias on campuses, including the deportation of foreign students who have participated in pro-Palestinian protests. Along with Columbia and Berkeley, the department is now investigating the University of Minnesota, Northwestern University, and Portland State University. A trio of Texas doctors accused of providing gender transition services to children are no longer practicing medicine. Two of them agreed to a legally binding agreement that stops them seeing all patients. The third is under a court-ordered injunction preventing him from providing any gender transition drugs to children. The Texas Attorney General said in a statement that they were all providing high doses of cross-sex hormones to dozens of kids with the direct purpose of transitioning the child's biological sex. An investigation found they were using false diagnoses and billing codes to hide the prescriptions. A man sentenced to death for killing an Arlington, Texas pastor is scheduled for execution this week. The Texas Department of Criminal Justice says Stephen Nelson will be executed tomorrow. Nelson was sentenced to die in 2012 for the murder of Clint Dobson in North Point Baptist Church the year before. After killing Dobson, Nelson severely beat the church secretary and stole her car. He was arrested after using his victim's stolen credit cards. Apple has chided a newly available pornography app available in the European Union. It also warned that the bloc's digital rules opening the way for third-party App Store downloads undermines consumer confidence in the tech giant. AltStore Pal, an alternative app marketplace, launched last year in the EU in response to the bloc bringing in a new digital rule book that forces big tech companies to open up to more competition. Apple has criticized the new regulations, saying they expose Europeans to the specter of more unsavory services, such as peddling pornography, illegal drugs, and other content that it has long prohibited in its App Store. And that's Newsmakers for this Tuesday, February 4th, 2025 edition. I'm Keith Black.